Okay, let's jump right in. We've got a zombie-slaying cheerleader versus a vampire slayer. Talk about different vibes, right? One's all comedy gore, the other supernatural drama, but, you know, with the snappy dialogue.
It's a lot of different tones, but we're going to look past that today.
Exactly. Forget the aesthetics for now. We're digging into what they can actually do. Their feats, their powers.
It's a fascinating comparison, taking these two really iconic characters from such different genres and just breaking down their actual capabilities. You really see their unique strengths when you look closer.
For sure. And you, listening in, you're here because you want the solid info, the aha moments, but like without getting totally bogged down, right? Consider this your shortcut. Your deep dive into Juliet, Starling, and Buffy Summers, our mission. We're going to analyze their origins, their gear, their powers, their combat history.
And maybe have a little fun speculating on who'd win in a face-off.
Oh, definitely. And we're basing all this on our key source, the Buffy vs. Juliet combat analysis.pdf.
It's interesting, isn't it, how a game and a TV show can create such different versions of, like, female power dealing with the supernatural or the just plain weird. Really shows the range of heroism out there.
Totally. Okay, so first up, San Romero High's own Juliet Starling, Sparkle and Slice. Gotta love that description from the source.
It captures her essence perfectly. But beneath the glitter, there's that common trope, isn't there? The teenager with the secret, heavy-duty double life.
Yeah, that blend of normal high school stuff and, you know, chopping up zombies.
It's compelling.
So Juliet's family, all zombie hunters. Her dad, Gideon, her sisters, Cordelia and Rosalind, they're all in the business.
But not the mom. She was kept out of the loop.
Right, so fighting zombies is literally the family trade for Juliet. She's been training since she was a kid. It's not just some random skill she picked up.
And that specialization is key. Her whole upbringing, her training, it's laser-focused on zombies. Unlike Buffy, whose powers are much broader.
That's a really good point. How would she handle something that isn't, you know, undead and groaning?
Exactly. Her experience is deep, but maybe not wide.
And her training isn't just the family stuff. She's captain of the cheerleading squad.
Which sounds like a non sequitur, but it's not.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Those acrobatic skills, the flips, the spins, they're completely baked into how she fights. Think lethal cheer routines.
It gives her this incredible mobility, this fluid, unpredictable style. You wouldn't expect a chainsaw wielder to move like that.
And wait, there's more. She trained under Sensei Junji Morikawa.
#1 zombie hunter of all time, according to the source.
Yeah, and his methods were, let's just say creative. Pole dancing was apparently involved.
Right. Whatever works against zombies, right? But again, it highlights that zombie-specific training.
Okay, let's talk hardware. The chainsaw. It's pink, it's bedazzled, it's a lot.
It's definitely her signature. Very much reflects her whole personality.
Right.
But functionally, it's surprisingly versatile.
Totally. Not just for cutting. It's melee, combos. She even uses it to cushion landings from crazy heights.
Yeah.
And get this, the source says she sliced a UFO in half with it.
That UFO feat. Oh, yeah. That's operating on some serious game logic there. Really underlines the exaggerated power levels in her world. But it does set a high bar for its cutting ability.
And it's got attachments. There's a chainsaw blaster, turns it into a ranged weapon.
Which is crucial. Gives her options beyond getting up close. It apparently takes down helicopters.
Yeah, fires exploding hard projectiles. Cute, but deadly. Though the source does flag potential aim issues.
Reliability is key in a fight. If that blaster isn't accurate, its usefulness drops way down.
Then there's the chainsaw dash. Good for closing distance fast, maybe less for impact damage.
It's more like a mobility tool, yeah.
And the popper attachment. Sounds concussive. The repop version is a neck popper too, for area damage. Plus all these named moves, slash, chain, cartwheel, skip.
It's a whole system. Suggests real mastery, not just swinging it wildly. But again, those attachment inconsistencies are noted. Not everything might work as well as advertised.
Good point. Okay, physical power beyond the saw. She's got superhuman strength.
Oh yeah. Overpowering mechs, swatting cars. The source is clear on that. And it's upgradable in the game, suggesting a high base level.
And speed. Agility.
Exceptional. Dodging lightning is mentioned, blocking bullets, evading cars. The reflexes are top tier. And the cheerleading feeds directly into that agility. Backflips, cartwheels, mid-combat.
Makes her hard to hit, I bet.
Definitely. Very evasive.
And she's tough. Like, really tough. Surviving huge falls, being at ground zero of a massive explosion and walking away fine.
That level of durability is pretty extreme. Again, possibly amplified by her game world's physics, but still, impressive resilience.
Plus, she heals by eating lollipops.
Adds to the unique flavor, doesn't it? And her recovery speed is upgradable, too.
Okay, special ability, Sparkle Hunting Mode. Sounds sparkly.
It's her super mode, basically. Activated by filling a star meter, kills, rescues, combos.
And it boosts everything. Chainsaw power, speed, jump height. Instant kills.
Yeah, significant enhancements and unlocks special attacks like lunge and somersault. It's her peak power state.
But how practical is it one-on-one? Sounds like you need to beat up a bunch of zombies first to activate it.
That's the potential issue. It seems designed for crowd control, for clearing waves of enemies. Activating it against a single tough opponent might be difficult or impossible, depending on the fight's conditions.
Right, and then there's Nick, her boyfriend, who is
a sentient, decapitated head.
Yeah. But he helps. Using Nick tickets and Nick roulette. How common are these tickets? That seems important.
It's a key question. Nick adds a huge amount of versatility, crowd control, area damage, healing, distraction, even resurrection. But if those tickets are rare, his usefulness is limited.
He sounds like a Swiss Army head. She can use him as a flail, like a projectile. He gives her items. He can possess headless zombies.
The Nick dance, the Nick smash chase, the Nick popper AoE. It's a diverse toolkit.
And Nick save. Revives her if she goes down, provided she has a ticket. That's huge.
Absolutely. If Nick is factored out of a fight scenario, Juliet loses a massive part of her support system and survivability.
Okay, so her big wins. Stop the San Romero zombie outbreak, beat 5 zombie rock lords, gotta love those names, and sealed Dimensional Rift. Pretty good resume.
Solid feats against her specific type of threat, definitely.
But limitations. The source highlights a few. No block. That sounds risky.
Relies entirely on dodging, which requires perfect timing against a fast opponent.
Her light attacks with pom-poms are weak, just for stunning. Heavy chainsaw attacks are powerful but slow. Lee's openings.
Classic trade-off, power versus speed.
And, yeah, the blaster aim issues, Barkle hunting being for hordes.
These are all potential tactical vulnerabilities.
But this one feels major. The source says she's reportedly never fought or killed a human, and is reluctant to kill a normal person.
That is potentially a game changer against someone like Buffy, who is, despite her powers, human.
Does secret sociopath just mean she's numb to zombie gore, or would she actually hesitate against Buffy?
It's a critical ambiguity. Her entire combat experience is against non-human entities she likely perceives as inherently evil or just obstacles. A human opponent, even a superpowered one, presents a completely different moral and psychological challenge. Huge question mark.
Okay, that's Juliet. All chainsaw, sparkles, and zombie guts. Now let's switch gears. Sunnydale. Buffy Summers, the chosen one. More supernatural drama, less glitter.
And a fundamentally different origin for her power. It's not family tradition, it's a mystical legacy.
Right. Ancient shamans, the Shadow Men, imbued the first Slayer with demonic essence thousands of years ago.
Heart, soul, spirit of a demon, the source says. Creates this lineage.
And when one Slayer dies, a Painchel gets called. So Buffy inherits this ancient power, which gives her built-in advantages like prophetic dreams.
Precognition, warnings, insights, a massive tactical edge, being able to anticipate events.
Plus Slayer sense. That intuition, right? Detects demons, heightened awareness. He can fight blindfolded because of it.
It's an inherent mystical awareness that Juliet just doesn't have. It fundamentally changes how she interacts with supernatural threats.
But it's not just mystical power. She trained hard. Rupert Giles, her watcher.
Her mentor. Provided formal training in combat, strategy, demonology, research, the whole package. Structured knowledge on top of innate ability.
And she has that racial memory thing, instinctive skills from past Slayers, picks up a weapon, kind of knows how to use it.
Like the quarterstaff example in the source, it suggests this deep wellspring of inherited combat knowledge.
Plus actual martial arts training. Tai Chi, kickboxing, Aikido, Jiu-Jitsu. She's got skills.
Yeah.
And she keeps training.
That combination of innate talent, mystical awareness, formal training, and continuous practice makes her incredibly adaptable and technically proficient.
Okay, weapons. Stakes, obviously. Classic. But she uses pretty much anything, right?
Axes, swords, crossbows, maces, highly proficient with a wide range, and incredibly resourceful.
Like using a rocket launcher against the judge.
Yeah.
Because, forged weapon immunity doesn't cover high explosives. Smart.
Shows tactical thinking outside the box, adapting the tool to this specific threat.
But the big one is the Slayer's Scythe.
Yes, the size forged to kill old ones. It's more than just an axe.
Way more. It's a mystical artifact tied to the Slayer essence. Super sharp cuts through vehicles. The stake end pierces tough Turrican vampires.
And it's incredibly durable. Resists magic, deflects energy blasts.
Deflects lasers. And it channels power, activated all the potentials. Buffy weaves it into her fighting style, too.
Its properties make it uniquely suited for fighting powerful supernatural beings. That anti-magic quality is particularly interesting when thinking about Juliet's potentially exotic chainsaw effects.
And she's used other stuff, too, like Olaf's hammer against Glory, which was insanely heavy, apparently.
Spike couldn't even lift it properly, but Buffy wielded it. Shows her strength.
And the Dagon Sphere repels powerful beings. So yeah, Juliet has the super chainsaw, but Buffy has this ancient mystical weapon and a history of using other powerful artifacts.
It gives Buffy greater tactical depth in terms of equipment. The scythe, in particular, feels like a direct counter to many forms of supernatural power.
Okay, Buffy's physical stats. Superhuman strength way beyond normal. Lifting portcullises, bending steel. The source mentions a 5,000-kilogram lift.
Yeah, that's a specific figure given. Significantly beyond human norms, allows her to overpower many demons and wield things like Olaf's hammer.
Speed and reflexes. Also superhuman. Snatching crossbow bolts, dodging gunfire, outrunning fast demons.
The source gives estimates bursts up to 75 mph, combat speed around 40-50 mph. Reaction times are off the charts.
And agility. Olympic level, analytic, high leaps, landing easily from falls.
All contributes to her being incredibly hard to track and hit in combat.
And durability. She can take a punch, or, being hit by a truck. High pain tolerance.
Survived electrocution that melted her shoes. The resilience is significant.
Plus the healing factor. 4 to 5 times faster than human. Minor wounds gone in a day.
Severe injuries heal in days. Allows her to stay in fights longer and recover quickly between encounters. And of course...
The 2 resurrections. Came back from the dead. Twice.
Which is unprecedented, even for Slayers. Underscores her unique destiny and connection to powerful forces.
So Buffy's defeated.
Yeah.
Pretty much everyone. The Master, Angelus, the Mayor Snake Demon, Adam the Cyborg Monster, Glory the Hell Goddess, Caleb, led the fight against the First Evil.
A significantly more diverse and powerful rogues gallery than Juliet's. Each required different strategies and pushed her limits in new ways.
Plus activating all the potentials with the scythe. That's huge. But weaknesses. She can be hurt by conventional weapons, right? Bullets, blades.
Yes, despite her durability, she's not invulnerable to piercing or slashing damage. A chainsaw is definitely a threat.
And her emotional state can affect her powers.
Extreme distress or self-doubt has been shown to weaken her, yes, though her combat instincts usually take over in a direct fight.
Plus temporary power drains from magic or illness. And yes, sometimes her strength seems inconsistent in the show. Narrative demands, maybe.
Possibly. But the core vulnerability against Juliet remains susceptibility to that kind of extreme cutting damage.
Okay. Deep breath. We've laid it all out. Now. The showdown. Juliet Starling versus Buffy Summers. Head-to-head. Let's start with the weapons. Chainsaw versus scythe.
It's tech and sparkle versus ancient magic and purpose. Juliet's chainsaw is loud, adaptable, raw cutting power demonstrated on that UFO.
Buffy's scythe is mystically charged, linked to her essence, super sharp, durable, anti-magic. Could it negate the blaster's heart explosions? Maybe.
That's a key question. Its mystical nature might disrupt or deflect exotic energies. But conversely, can the scythe, or Buffy herself, withstand a direct hit from a weapon proven to cut through potentially advanced alien metal?
And Buffy knows how to use more than just the scythe. She's got that broader weapon skill.
True. But in a direct clash, it likely comes down to their primary tools first. Can Buffy's skill and the scythe's magic overcome the chainsaw's sheer destructive force before it connects?
Okay, physicality, strength, both superhuman. Juliet's feats look more spectacular sometimes, like the car swatting. Buffy's got that documented 5,000-kilogram lift.
Hard to directly compare game visuals to more grounded, relatively speaking, TV feats. Both are immensely strong. Maybe Buffy has a slight edge in quantifiable, consistent strength.
Speed and reflexes, both incredibly fast. Juliet dodged lightning, but Buffy's speed seems more refined for combat, dodging gunfire, the bolt snatching, maybe more applicable in a sustained duel.
Possibly. Juliet's agility is highly evasive, cheerleading-based. Buffy's is integrated into trained martial arts defense and offense.
Durability. Juliet survived that explosion point blank. Buffy has the damage soak and the fast healing.
It feels like Juliet might tank one massive hit better, maybe, But Buffy can endure a longer beating and recover faster. Different kinds of toughness.
Special abilities. Juliet's sparkle hunting, powerful, but maybe hard to trigger here. Nick's assistance, versatile, but needs tickets and his presence.
Buffy's Slayer sense and prophetic flashes are always on, providing constant tactical input. Her healing is passive.
So Buffy's inherent abilities seem more consistently useful in a one-on-one than Juliet's conditional ones, especially if Nick isn't around.
Agreed. Buffy's baseline advantages are more reliable in this context.
Experience and tactics. This feels like a big one.
Huge. Juliet's experience is primarily zombie hordes and weird bosses in San Romero. Tactics involve stunning, sparkle hunting for groups, Nick's help.
Buffy.
Yeah.
Vampires, demons of all kinds, rogue slayers, cyborgs, gods, ancient evils. She's faced deception, magic, overwhelming power, psychological warfare, and she strategizes.
Repeatedly. The plans against the mayor, Adam, Glory, the first evil. She analyzes weaknesses, coordinates allies, adapts on the fly. There's a massive gap in strategic depth and breadth of experience.
Buffy's much more likely to figure out Juliet's weaknesses, the lack of blocking, the slow, heavy attacks, and exploit them.
Precisely. Her combat intelligence is far more tested against diverse, intelligent opponents.
Okay, weaknesses again, Juliet. No block, slow, heavy attacks, maybe unreliable blaster, sparkle hunting unlikely, and the huge won't kill humans question.
Buffy. Vulnerable to the chainsaw's damage, powers can dip with extreme emotion, less likely initially, can still be overwhelmed.
So it boils down to, can Buffy exploit Juliet's defensive gaps before Juliet lands a devastating hit with the chainsaw?
That seems to be the core dynamic, yes. Juliet needs to connect decisively. Buffy needs to defend, adapt, and counterattack effectively.
And that secret sociopath thing for Juliet. How does that play out? Does she see Buffy, a human with powers, as fair game? Or does she hesitate?
It's the wild card. If she hesitates, even for a moment, against someone with Buffy's speed and skill, that could be fatal. If she goes all out immediately, perceiving Buffy simply as a threat, then her raw power is a major factor. But her history suggests hesitation is more likely against a human-looking opponent.
Okay. The verdict. Speculation time.
Let's speculate.
Juliet's path to victory seems clear. Hit hard, hit fast. Overwhelm Buffy with the chainsaw's power before Buffy fully assesses the situation. Her durability might let her tank an initial hit or two.
A blitz strategy. It's plausible, given the chainsaw's potential damage output.
But Buffy's advantages really stack up in a longer fight. The experience, the tactical mind, Slayer sense healing factor. She's built for endurance and adaptation.
And the scythe. Its mystical nature might be key against whatever makes the chainsaw so effective, and it's a potent weapon in its own right.
Plus, that potential hesitation from Juliet, it's a massive psychological hurdle for her. And if we assume Nick isn't there, or tickets are scarce, Juliet loses a lot.
Taking all that into account.
Well, Juliet definitely has that puncher's chance, that potential for a shocking early win. Buffy seems the more probable victor. Her skill set is just more complete, more tested. She's more likely to survive the initial onslaught, figure Juliet out, and exploit those openings.
I lean the same way. Juliet's raw power is undeniable, especially within her context. But Buffy's combination of skill, experience, inherent abilities, strategic thinking, and resilience seems better suited to winning a complex, high-stakes duel against an unknown opponent. She adapts, she endures, she finds a way.
So there you have it. Juliet's explosive power and unique style versus Buffy's proven resilience, tactical genius, and deep mystical strength. A clash of worlds, really.
Absolutely. And remember, this is just our analysis based on the source. Different interpretations, different fight conditions could change everything.
Totally. But hopefully, for you, the learner, this deep dive gave you those insights, those aha moments about these two awesome characters.
We covered a lot of ground.
We did. So here's a final thought to chew on. Think about their different brands of girl power. Juliet's got this, transgressive, over-the-top, almost joyful violence. Buffy's strength is more tempered by responsibility, wisdom, compassion, even when she's kicking serious butt.
Two very different approaches to heroism.
Right. What do these differences tell us about the kinds of challenges they represent, maybe, or the audiences they connect with, and how female heroes have evolved?
Definitely something worth considering further. The landscape of powerful female characters is incredibly rich and diverse.
For sure. And there's always more to explore, more deep dives to take.